Hello, my name is Manik Maharjan, and in this video, I will be talking about vehicle and roadway characteristics. On June 29, 1956, President Dwight D. Eisenhower signed the Bill for Federal Highway Act, paving the way for the modern American highway. The bill authorized $25 billion to construct over 41,000 miles of interstate highways across the United States. The American life was then redesigned to revolve around the car and the cities around the highways. Neighborhoods were demolished to make way for the big highways cutting through the cities. Like, for example, the I-35W highway through Minneapolis, Minnesota. Notice the highway on the bottom right and the far left. In similar fashion, multi-lane highways were cutting through cities across the United States to make way for commuters and to make their commute more comfortable. More examples can be seen in cities like Tulsa, Detroit, and Kansas City, to name a few. According to the U.S. Census Bureau's American Community Survey's 2017 publication, about 77% of all Americans commute to work every day. Although the number decreased from 85% in 2007, it is still a significantly high percentage of Americans driving to and back from work every single day. With so many people on the road, the traffic management plans by the proper authorities must be solid. The traffic management process can be visualized as a triangle, as there are three primary factors considered in the process. They are the driver, the road, and the vehicle characteristics. And an accident will occur if one or combination of these factors fail. Now let's talk about the vehicle characteristics. Roadways are designed based on the characteristics of vehicles. After all, the primary purpose of roads are for vehicles to move on. A vehicle's weight, size, and along with dynamic characteristics such as the forces causing the motion, air resistance, speed, velocity, and rolling resistance are considered while designing a roadway. For example, an engineer must consider the weight of a vehicle while determining the pavement material and grade, as heavier vehicles increase wear and tear on pavement, requiring frequent attention and maintenance. Furthermore, the size of a vehicle helps an engineer determine the lane and shoulder width of a roadway, as large vehicles require higher turning radius and take up more space on the road. Additionally, the dynamic characteristics of a vehicle, that is, the force, air resistance, speed, velocity, and rolling resistance, affect the performance of a vehicle on a roadway and helps determine the geometry of the roadway, like a horizontal or a vertical curve. For example, if a roadway is expected to have a high truck volume, then the engineer must design it to have higher turning radius, wider lanes, and stronger pavement materials. Moving on to roadway characteristics. There are different types of roadways to serve different purposes. High-speed roads with speeds ranging from 50 miles per hour to 80 miles per hour, and low-speed roads with speeds ranging from 15 miles per hour to 45 miles per hour. Freeways with full control of accesses and expressways with partial control of accesses and are able to serve higher volume traffics fall under the high-speed roads. These roads often run cross-country joining multiple cities. Urban and minor roads such as arterial roads, boulevards, and avenues with low capacity and lower speeds served to the urban community fall under low-speed roads. Another significant characteristics of a roadway is the sign and signals. Roadways are made easier to drive on and navigate due to the placement of signs and signals alerting drivers where to go and where to go safely. Here we have a few examples of traffic signals and signs, like a stop sign, which are placed on unsignalized intersections prompting drivers to stop and only proceed when it's safe to do so. A do not enter sign, which warns drivers not to enter the road. A no U-turn sign. Green location signs with exit and adjoining roadway information downstream. And a standard 3-section traffic signal. With the advancement of technology, intelligent transportation devices are used for added safety. Like, for example, dynamic speed display signs with warning flashes, which warns drivers if they are going above a certain speed limit. Smart arrow indicating lane closures used in work zones, which are attenuated with traffic cones. Changeable message signs with advanced warning messages, which warns drivers of any hazardous conditions on the road. Building and maintaining roadways are often put on the highest priorities in the government and cities' to-do list, even a brief interruption in services could lead to loss of business and major travel time. In the United States, there are multiple publications and guidance which enforces rules and regulations an engineer must follow while designing a road. The Federal Highway Administration, or FHWA's Manual on Uniform Traffic Control Devices, and American Association of State Highway and Transportation Officials, or AASHTO's, Roadside Design Guide are two major manuals transportation engineers across the United States use. Almost every state has its own specific guidance manual for their engineers to use. As the roadway design is also affected by the weather and environment. Specific guidance for specific aspects of roadways, such as signals, signs, pavement markings, also exist for a more standardized design. Given the United States is a huge country with environment and weather changing from east to west and north to south, engineers in the sunny west coast must adhere to a different standards and different design standards than the engineers in the snowy Midwest. Vehicle and roadway characteristics determine how a driver responds. Well-designed and maintained streets will have higher compliance rate among drivers, increasing safety, and an ill-maintained road will only increase confusion and create a havoc among the road users. In the next topic, we'll talk more about the human factors and characteristics that contribute to crashes. Thank you.